Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. So, we have abnormal skins to chase after tonight. Now, I should just reiterate, we're not going to see the Charitable Rust skins, okay? They're not marketable, they're not tradable. I just have to reiterate that once more. But good on you for everybody that did buy these, because they sold a lot, and it's all for a good cause. Charitable Rust seems to be a wonderful success this year. They raised and beat their targets 3 times, I believe. And with all the funds that they're going to get from these as well, it's going to be even higher. So good on you for buying all of these skins. But yeah, aside from that, abnormal skins, yep, we've got 1, 2, we've got 3, we've got 4, and we have 5 right here. We have 5 abnormal skins to chase after today, and you might be sitting there wondering, Hedge, what's the abnormal skin? Well, in the description for every abnormal barter video, there's 2 videos right there. There's a short video which briefly explains everything in 60 seconds, and there's a much more lengthier video that's about 20 minutes long, but it'll explain everything a whole lot more thoroughly, if that makes sense to all of you. So if you are unsure what an abnormal skin is, look in the description of this video, and it's right there, okay? Sounds good? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try and figure out what prices we might want to offer for likes of the hoodie, the pants, the garage door here, the Chameleon LR300 and the Fallen Sword. And when they appear about, well, let's see here, in a good, just over about 3 hours time when they appear, we're going to try and put down our barters as fast as we can, and hopefully at some point down the line we'll pick them up for a whole lot more cheaper and sell them for some wonderful, delicious looking profits. And we also need to consider what prices we might want to offer for the regular skins. Regular skins being the skins that will only become marketable when the next Rust store rotates, which will be tomorrow, and that'll be a Halloween Rust store. Yep, Halloween week 1 is tomorrow. But let's now jump in. Let's start focusing and talking about the Abyss hoodie and pants. What prices might we want to offer for them? So first of all, I do hope you lot that you watched the likes of this video. I talked about all the potential things that can happen with it. I also made a nice little connection in regards to the Berserker collection, which basically laid out and got set up in the exact same way the Abyss collection did. And I also looked at how they performed during a post-Christmas and how they basically performed all of this year. And my expectation is with the full Abyss collection, I do think all of it will be in a positive at some point. Most likely post-Christmas time. That's not too hard to believe and understand. But what we had to be concerned about is how much will this hoodie and pants actually sell. And honestly, it really does look like this is the lowest selling core piece compared to all of the other skins here. So I'm talking about the tier 2, the tier 3 and the hoodie and pants. If we're going to look at bare minimum sales, hoodie has 13,300-ish, and the pants have 13,200-ish. Yeah, that's quite a fairly decent less amount compared to the likes of the kilt, which has a lot less compared to the tier 3. So these right here, if this collection really does end up in the positive, like if people really do like it, view it nicely, want it, desire it, will pay for it and whatnot, well, the hoodie and pants are very likely going to be the most valuable pieces because there's a lot less of them in comparison to the kilt and the tier 3 armor, for example. So as of now, I'm thinking that we might want to offer a fairly decent price. Now, if you're still questioning things, if you still think, you know what, I'm not 100% sure, that's fine. You could put down a safer buy order. I totally respect that. But looking at this, we do know we also have the likes of boots and gloves, but that very likely won't be happening until November time. Little Ranger, one of the skin creators, outright says, hey mate, thank you, yeah sure. Next item will be gloves and boots. That's expected, but because we have Halloween Rust store tomorrow and next week, we're not going to be seeing those appear until maybe November time. Boots and gloves do have a very nice positive impact on core pieces. We saw the likes of these boots being accepted this past week, and well, the high quality metal tier 3 got bought out. We saw the previous week, the Ronin gloves, when this got accepted. All the other pieces, the core pieces I'm talking about, spiked in demand, spiked in price. They did very nicely. Still holding up quite nicely, tier 2 armor here. Tier 3 is a bit questionable. But anyway, we probably can expect to see the boots and gloves being accepted. Won't be surprised. Abyss collection has done fairly all right. Facepunch seems to like it. I'm under the impression that in terms of what prices we might potentially want to offer for these hoodie and pants, I'm going to go with... Alright, so I could expect it doing nicely, but I could still expect it potentially struggling a little bit. Maybe it'll only retain its value. Remember, this is the final core piece. There's no massively impactful skins that could appear that, well, is as good as a core piece. Boots and gloves are still good, but it's not like getting a tier 3 armor or a tier 2 armor or hoodie pants when you already have some. So I reckon I'm probably going to do like $1.20 to $1.70. Yep, I'm going to put it fairly close to about $2 because, yeah, I do still think they're going to do quite all right. And looking at the likes of how Berserker Collection behaved, I can imagine it probably maybe at its best potentially double in price at some point when the times are wonderful and if people do greatly appreciate this set. So yeah, I'm willing to risk it, get fairly close. So $1.20 if you want to play it safer, $1.70 if you want to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe you want to go all the way up to $2. That's up to you. But looking at the likes of this, I'm thinking we could probably get fairly close to it. The amount of sales in comparison to all the other core pieces, I'm thinking it's going to work out very favourable for it in the future. And when loads of people return at some point in December time, they're going to take one good look at this collection. And I hope that the majority of them do appreciate it, like it, and want to buy it. And then if that happens, good money. So, sounds good. Now we have the likes of the Altar Garage Door, and this has not sold that much either. 11,000 bare minimum sales. Compare that with the likes of the large box, and well, looks like we're about 2,000 less. I reckon by tomorrow I might have maybe an extra couple hundred being bought. Guys, this is actually looking to be a pretty cool looking garage door that might work out very nice in the future as well. Now, the fact that this garage door right here happened to be out during the same week probably caused this to not have as many sales as it possibly could have. This right here is a glow-in-the-dark garage door with a see-through mesh that's at head height. Like, get a good look at this. You can see how easy it is to just stand up, look right in that porthole, and you can see so much. So that clearly got a lot of interest, got a lot more sales. I'm not surprised by that. But the likes of this, well, I'm under the impression, Mr. Smoothie, who of course made it, and the large box, that we will potentially be seeing more skins being made for it. I'm expecting a deplorable collection being produced from this. Now, where do we go from here? I don't know. Sheet metal door? Armoured door? Small box? Rug? Who knows? But the design of it, I like it. Look at this. Look at how cool the ancient sci-fi relic design looks. I reckon a lot of people would appreciate that. The glow-in-the-dark colour scheme is also quite nice. I can imagine it doing quite alright in the future. However, we have to consider that it's still October time. I am under the impression that this potentially might struggle for a fair bit. I reckon it's going to probably struggle as much as the large box. Maybe not as much, but at its worst, it might reach up to maybe about negative 30%. But even then, I don't think it's going to go down that bad. And honestly, looking at this, I can imagine it having a pretty decent future ahead of it if we do see more. And with the design of it, I think people would be appreciating it. Now, again, also, how many sales did it have in comparison to all of the other garage doors that came out this year? This, at the moment, has only got bare minimum 11,000 sales. Looking at all of these other skins, it is the... Oh, no, Space Foil Garage Door has less, but, I mean, I don't think people really cared for that much anyway. I mean, clearly, because it's down 71%. Oof, oof, oh dear, look at that. Oh, dear. But this right here, glows in the dark, looks quite cool. You know what? I think this actually might be a pretty decent purchase. Oh, no, not purchase by order. What price are we going to consider? I'm thinking I'm going to do $1.50 and $2.20. Yeah. Now, if you want to go a little bit more aggressive, by all means, attack it. But I won't be surprised in the slightest. I think it's next week skin creators can start producing skins again. I'm under the impression that we will be seeing some more deplorables being produced, and we'll be seeing them on the workshop, and all the better to it. But I can still imagine it will go below its $3 price. So that's why I say $1.50 to $2.20. We'll see if we can grab any. And again, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you want to try and put down maybe like $2.50 or something, then have at it. Enjoy yourself. Try and see what you can do with that. So yeah, I feel like I've said enough about that. Let's now move on to talking about the likes of the Chameleon LR300. This is the lowest selling Chameleon skin out of all the skins. Look at all of this real quickly. Now, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was talking about the Chameleon MP5. And I sat here and said, look guys, this has sold quite a lot less in comparison to the AK and the Thompson. And I was like, you know what? There's a fairly decent chance that the Chameleon MP5 will be carried by all the other skins, you know. People like to collect, people will want to have full collections, and with the likes of the weapon racks right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to have full collections that are nice and shiny so they can flex them in-game. You get the idea. Now, funnily enough, like literally a short while after that, we had 2 more weapon skins back to back, and well, the SAR had around the same amount, and then immediately after that, we had the Chameleon LR300. And this has only sold bare minimum 11,000 sales. This did 17.5, this did 17.5, this did 26.5, and this did 27, almost 28,000. There's so much more of this in comparison to this. So I'm under the impression, right, that the LR300 probably won't be stonking like crazy, but I could imagine it might retain its value purely based on the fact that people like this collection, people want to have the full collection. And with a lot less of those, the LR300s, in comparison to all of the other weapon skins, that might actually work out very nicely for it. So with that, I'm thinking I might want to do $1.50 to $2.20 again. I can imagine it might go down a fair bit. I can imagine it might suffer a fair bit. Especially initially, especially during the likes of the rest of this October month and maybe a fair bit in towards the likes of November. But I'm still anticipating more weapon skins being made for this collection. I'm still anticipating clothing and armor being made for it, because Milo Frito, the skin creator, outright said on the workshop, I do plan to do that eventually. This collection's not stopping anytime soon. He keeps getting acceptances. There's a fairly decent amount of sales that keep happening all the time. Of course he's going to continue. And again, if it keeps selling, Face Punch is going to keep accepting. They're here to make a profit, and he's here to make a profit, and you're here to try and get some nice, cool-looking, shiny skins. It's a circle of life. So I get the feeling that LR300 actually might be doing quite all right in the future. Yes, I know. LR300s are a fair bit awkward. Not exactly the highest on the totem pole with weapons and whatnot, but people probably still would want it just to have the full collection. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of chameleon enjoyers out there, and I'm pretty sure that with the lower sales that it has, as time goes on, that actually might easily go up in price. Maybe we'll hardly see any quantity on the Steam market. All the better for it to rise up in price, because there's a lot less people trying to dump them, a lot less people undercutting each other. So things are looking interesting in regards to that. So keep an eye out for it. You might even want to consider making a purchase just to see what happens. But yeah, I'm probably going to stick with just doing my buy orders, $1.50 to $2.20. Then we have the likes of the Fallen Salvage Sword. Now, unfortunately, just take one quick look at all the more recent Salvage Sword skins that were accepted, and down 52, down 56, down 57, down 56, down 55, down 57. Guys, this by all means, I just can't imagine it's going to retain its value. For some strange reason, people just don't seem to care too much about the likes of Salvage Sword skins. Heaven forbid, but yeah, it's just not that desirable, to be honest. So yeah, that's going to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. It's unfortunate, but you should learn from all those other skins. It's very likely going to just go... It's unfortunate, but it's the weapon itself. It's the weapon itself rather than the skin. Robstar, where's my longsword skins? Come on, come on, come on! Don't be shy, give it a shot. Come on. So, yeah. And PYH, you are correct. We'll talk about that in a second. We will talk about that in a second. Chat, why is my discussion chat box not appearing? Could you just quickly say hello? If I type hello, does it appear hello? It appeared there. PYH, could you say something again real quickly? Because this stupid problem. Chat, say hello, say hi, say Quick chat, anyone, something. Okay, it doesn't. Right, guys, we're back. So sorry about that. I was going on a bit of a tangent because I uploaded that Christmas video very recently talking about investing, fairly late into the year, investing into Christmas skins. And throughout all that video, none of the messages appeared above me. So it just looked like I was a crazy person screaming at nothing. So don't worry about that. Don't worry. Let's now start talking about the regular skins, because we need to figure out what prices we might want to offer for those, because again, still a very nice thing to chase after. You just have to make sure you're around when the rust rotates. It's awkward. But anyway, high quality metal boots. So I'm under the impression Diaz is probably still going to get some more out of this. Diaz got both of his skins accepted for the Twitch drops that we just have for Charitable Rust. His small box and his locker skin, he made both of them. And, well, typically you tend to see a skin creator maybe possibly get some acceptances fairly close to around the time he gets a whole bunch of Twitch drops. So I'm under the impression that maybe, just maybe, we might see some hoodie and pants or tier 2 being accepted at some point. He has to make it, though. Yes, you might sit there and say, but this was never accepted. I know. But I won't be surprised if he makes a version 2. He keeps getting some skins accepted, so why would he stop? I just kind of want to wait out for that. So in regards to the amount of sales that we have here, in comparison to this and this and this, it seems to have matched up perfectly fine. When a collection's only off by about 1,000 sales in between its other skins and whatnot, it's still alright. There's still no problems and whatnot. It should still be fine. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, how might this potentially perform? I mean, I'm not super confident it's going to be instantly stonking. That's definitely an answer I can give you. But look at all the other boots that came out this year. Oh dear. Maybe the best competitor this has is the hard suit, because it's fairly similar. And this is down to about 80 cents. So you know what? I think I'm probably just going to do 65 cents to 75 cents for the high quality metal boots. I don't really want to go too crazy for them, but I do expect more high quality metal stuff, so I'm a fair bit conflicted, because again, I wouldn't be surprised if Diaz, if he just happens to consider making tier 2 armor or a version 2 of his hoodie and pants, I wouldn't be surprised if it potentially gets accepted. So we shall see, but I don't know if that's going to happen immediately. I don't imagine this is going to retain its value over the course of the next 2 weeks when we have Halloween restores. So 65 cents to 75 cents is going to be my answer. We shall see what happens next. Pirate Python. I do believe this is the lowest selling Python skin that we've had all of this year. So bare minimum sales for this, 12,610. Oh wait, no, we had the low poly Python. Oh yeah, God, we also had the chemical... Okay, right. So do you know what? Let's just not even consider that. Yeah, these weren't very desirable, unfortunately. But this right here, it's a perfectly fine Python skin. Mostly black. Cool flag design from the pirate gimmick and whatnot. Aim down the sight, what do you see? Red aim sight, very nice, very cool. I just want to reiterate, don't consider this being the budget blackout option, because again, we must just quickly point out, whilst this is basically mostly black and whatnot, with the red aim sight, it also has the added benefit with the transparency here. Just being able to see a little bit more is what causes this to be a whole lot more valuable compared to all of the other Python skins. Plus, for some strange reason, nobody happens to like Python skins. Wow. Right, anyway, looking at the likes of this Pirate Python, what might we want to consider offering for this? Well, I just kind of want to take a quick look at the likes of all the Pirate collection at the moment, because looking at all of it, it's actually basically recovered. Yeah, Pirate collection's already passed. It's already past its low point. So if you managed to jump in and buy into this when it was at its cheapest, congrats, because from here at now, it looks like it's only going to go on up. How high on average might it all go? I reckon at least 50%. I reckon that AK probably is going to go up to about $3. But for the likes of this and this, well, Thompson has hardly any stock on the Steam market. I can imagine that potentially becoming quite expensive. It was one of the lowest selling Thompson skins all of this year, and with hardly any stock on the Steam market, that Thompson very, very, very likely will be going up in price very, very easily, considering it's got next to no resistance. But let's focus the Python. Do you reckon this Python might work out quite nicely purely based on the fact that this seems to be a fairly desirable collection? There's so much stock of this that was bought, so much of it in circulation, and yet still it's in the positive. Consider that, alright? So much of it, most skins with the amount of sales these had would struggle, die, and be super cheap. But no, these have retained their value. These survived the worst of the autumn-fall seasonal dip, and now it's worked out very, very nicely. Will this Pirate Python be like all the other Pythons? And what do I mean by that? Well, take a look at all of them. Down 52%, down 53, down 57, down 54, down 52, down 46, down 54, down 53, down 45, down 29. They're struggling. They are struggling. So, my answer to you is, do you reckon they'll do a fair bit better? My answer to you is, I think it will. Purely based on the fact that I think people mistakenly believe that this will be a budget blackout option. Also, partly based on the fact that people probably want the full Pirate collection. So, yeah, I reckon I might consider doing 80 cents to $1.20. That's what I'm probably going to do, 80 cents to $1.20. We'll see how that potentially works out in the end, but I think it will be doing better than the other Pythons at the very least. I can imagine this being a nice, affordable, cool-looking Python that people will appreciate and probably will be retaining its value and potentially in the positive at some point when we reach post-Christmas time. So it didn't sell a stupidly high amount, but compared to all of the other Pythons, it's still one of the better-selling skins that came out this year. I know, it's weird, isn't it? So, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, 80 cents to $1.20. It's up to you what you might want to offer. If you're a little bit unsure, stick with the smaller price. Go with the safer option. All right then, dystopian cell door, 60 cents to 80 cents. I didn't need to spend too much time considering that. But yeah, just take a look at all the sheet metal doors that we've had accepted this year, and yeah, you probably understand why I'm not super keen with it all. Yeah, quite a lot of these skins came out, and well, they instantly dropped down in price as well. That's the point I was trying to get across. So 60 cents to 80 cents is what I'm going to consider offering for the likes of that. It's unfortunate, completely new skin creator, but I can't guarantee he's definitely going to get another skin accepted. I can't guarantee he's actually going to continue this collection. I'll turn it into a collection, that is. So we check the workshop, we see what people say, and the answer is yeah. So he does intend to try and turn it into a set, but I'm still not super convinced with the likes of sheet metal door skins, so we'll put that aside. Cheese gun, an AK-47. Well, you know it's going to be 70 cents, 90 cents, don't you? Yeah, just take a look at all the AKs that have come out this year, and, well, they're not doing super great, are they? I will just point this out. There's been a lot of purchases for the Armageddon AR and the Starry Dream, to the point that I thought these were probably going to get manipulated, but then they didn't get any more sales, and it's just kind of been really weird. I don't know fully what's going on here, but yeah, you should probably keep an eye out with all these AK skins, because I wouldn't be surprised if some of them get manipulated. We are seeing quite a lot of skins being manipulated at the moment. Lots of them getting just madly bought out, and probably around Christmas time, they're going to just massively increase in price and try and trick people into assuming that that's natural. Oh, Knights Templar was another one. Knights Templar was bought out insanely as well, so some of these AKs might magically be $5 all of a sudden, so just keep an eye out. But anyway, this cheese gun, it's not going to be one of those skins. It's not going to go up to $5 anytime soon. I mean, just take a look at it. Come on now. Come on. Look at it. I could imagine some people buying it purely as a joke. That's fine, but I just don't think that's going to instantly retain its value. I don't imagine it's going to be doing a good job of that. 70 cents, 90 cents is your safe option. Chances are you could just probably turn it into metal. And yeah, a lot of weapon skins right now you can turn into metal, just like that, easy. So we'll leave it for now, but yeah, 70 cents, 90 cents, too many AKs, they're all cheap. For $2, you could probably buy something, well, more desirable at the very least. Then we have the chemical burn bow. Right, listen, guys, this is where we have to take into consideration what we could do with the fact that this has very, very, very low sales. So, like I just mentioned, quite a lot of skins right now are getting massive buyouts, and the expectation is around maybe December, January time, they're just going to suddenly become inflated and, become super valuable, or appear to be, but, with manipulators, they make it appear as if a skin's a whole lot more valuable than what it's actually worth. With the likes of that, with only having 4,000 sales, it's definitely vulnerable to be manipulated. Usually, the lowest performing, lowest selling skin of each week does get bought out at some point, and eventually you might see it selling for like $10 in the Steam market. But remember, always just kind of look at the sales history and whatnot, look at the buy orders and see if it even matches up, and you should be able to deduce that it's currently being manipulated. That right there, if it were to be manipulated, would you consider buying them? What's your choice? Because would you flip the coin, buy some of these, and hope that this does get manipulated at some point? Because with only 4,000 sales, it definitely could happen. All right? But there's no guarantees. And personally, I don't really want to chase after skins purely in hopes of it being manipulated at some point. Because maybe me talking about it has alerted the manipulators, and they're like, you know what? If other people are going to buy this now, maybe we should just not bother. Maybe we should just step away. So yeah, okay, cool. Maybe I ruined it for everybody. So with that, choice is yours, but keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on it over the course of the next couple months and see where it ends up at. But by default, looking at that, it's going to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. We can just turn it into metal. This right here, just by the looks of it, and by the looks of the whole chemical burn collection, it's not desirable. All of that's down to around $1. This very likely will be in the same position, and therefore a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order is the way to go. So that's what I'm going to say for that. Or if you think, you know what, maybe things might work out, maybe it's manipulated, maybe even consider just putting down a strong buy order and see what happens next. So with that that was all the skins that you see right here, and now we need to talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow is the first Halloween rush store, so let's just put that away, and here we are. There wasn't a round one, there wasn't a filter, there wasn't another collection or a revamped collection. Quite literally, we only have this batch of skins. I have no idea what's going to get picked. So, quite some time back, last week, I did sit here and do a skin checks, but I focused all the continuations that I noticed. I might have missed a couple, I'm sorry, but consider giving this a good watch. All the chapters are there for all the continuations. There's some interesting skins in this batch. But if it's all of these in contention, I honestly have zero clue what potentially will be the winners. So just get a good look at it. I mean, you've got like Kraken Shell there. I should also I'll just reiterate all of the continuations. Cultist Poncho and Gloves. That's a continuation of the Deer Skull Mask that we had last year. Kraken Shell Hoodie and Pants. That's a continuation of the Tier 3 armor that we had last year. Pumpkin Road Sign Gloves and Boots. Continuation of the Tier 2 armor that we had last year. Just in your own time, consider looking at all of this. Get a good look. Very nice, very cool. We have Necro Face Mask and Chest Plate. That's a continuation of the Necro Machine AK-47 that we had quite some time back. Loads of deplorables, an insane amount of deplorables. It's like 50% deplorables and then 25% clothing and armor and weapons and whatnot. There's like 18 sheet metal doors, 13 furnaces, there's like 15 garage doors. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Demonic Raven large box right there, House of Horrors right there, both of them continuations. That furnish right there, yeah, let's not fuss about that too much. You can go watch my short video if you want to get a good laugh at that. Fridge from Hell, yep. We got a From Hell skin last year. Maybe we'll get the first marketable fridge skin in a long time. That would be very interesting and very cool. Plenty of rugs to take a look at. So yeah, which one do you reckon will be the one? Oh, the Ghostly Flame double door right there. You've also got the likes of the Ghost Pumpkin garage door, and we also have the Neon Pumpkin armored double door, a second attempt because this was submitted last year but wasn't accepted. Mummy Head, that's technically a loose connection to the likes of the Zombie Head that we had like 2 years ago, and then plenty of other skins to take a look at there and whatnot. Oh, and what do we have? Ghost Halloween MP5, Slime Monster AK-47, loads of cool things, but yeah, no idea what's going to get picked. But we do have a bit of a good idea in regards to what's going to be added with the skins. I'm talking about the items. So I hope you've been keeping an eye on the commits and whatnot. We're going to have to hop over to here. Rusticated tweeted this. There you go. We've got a good... Okay. Sorry about that. This is the Dracula mask. Dracula mask, Vampire Stake, Dracula cape. Now, we don't know what's happening in regards to the ghost sheet, but that right there apparently could be the items that are going to get introduced tomorrow that are going to be purchasable. I get the feeling the Vampire Cape probably isn't going to be purchasable, but yeah, all this isn't actually like
release.
The actual content, the actual Halloween update isn't happening until the 23rd of October, but tomorrow should be the first Halloween rush store, and we should potentially see some brand new items, and that will most likely mean something isn't getting brought back. But which item isn't getting brought back? Could it potentially be the Cursed Cauldron, the Mummy Wraps, the Skull Rock, the Large Candle Set, the Carvable Pumpkin, the Cultist Deer Torch, the Fogger 3000, Skull Spikes, Strobe Light, Skull Trophy, Hockey Mask, or Baseball Bat? Based on the fact that it's a Dracula Mask and a Vampire Stake, I get the feeling these two aren't going to get brought back. That's my current assumption. Or maybe this doesn't get brought back and the Vampire Cape is also an item that's introduced. I don't know. But I have the feeling that some of it might be in-game content and some of it will be stuff that you can pay for. So, I don't know. But we will react to it tomorrow. And that would mean maybe buying into something or selling something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I have a lot of pumpkins to sell. I have so many pumpkins to sell. I'm sure many of you are like that as well. But the expectation is with the likes of the carvable pumpkins, if this is going to sell for maybe $6 again, or $7 or $8, who knows, well, a lot of people go into the rush store, see that's for sale at that price, but then realise, well, hang on a minute, this link right here tells me that I could just buy it on the Steam market instead for a much cheaper price. And that, fingers crossed, will be the cause for this to probably double or triple in price. Maybe this also goes back on price again if it, is also brought back tomorrow. We shall see. Even if the hockey mask does remain tomorrow, if it does sell for $8 again, this will go back up in price as well. So fingers crossed, we shall see what happens. There's so much to scream and shout about. But there's also one more thing that we should mention. We've noticed that there's potentially a new shotgun being introduced, and I did a little bit of research, and it turns out this shotgun, the Speg Heli M4, was actually made in Sandbox a month ago, made by Rick from Face Punch. Get a good look at that, because I get the feeling that, if it's in Sandbox, you could easily just put it into Rust as well. We might have a brand new shotgun. Yep, XM enjoyers, that's exactly it. So, yeah. We very likely will be getting a brand new shotgun added to Rust, and it's very likely this right here. This was made for Sandbox. It's also owned by Face Punch. Very likely easily portable over into the likes of Rust then. So, yeah, keep an eye out. We shall see, but wouldn't be surprised if it's basically exactly the same thing that we saw just there. So, yep, that's basically it. And don't forget, always keeping an eye on the likes of the Face Punch commits. We're also seeing more mentions in regards to the DLC. That should probably be nice and ready for November. Tutorial Island should be nice and ready in time for the winter sale on Steam. So, yeah, I expect a lot of people to hop in and play the game and whatnot. And, yeah, that's all good. I would expect a special cinematic being made for Halloween as well. That's been mentioned a lot in the commits. We will probably have it tomorrow, if anything. And, yeah. Oh, one more thing. Do be aware, clocks are going to change in the UK soon. So when the clocks change, the abnormal times are going to be different. So just wanted to point that out. To many of you, that means an hour earlier. So abnormal biodas now will be 1 hour earlier. And I know a lot of you are going to be very happy about that. But that's not for at least another 2 or so weeks. So you've got to wait a little bit longer. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So that, I think I've screamed and shouted more than enough. What number do you reckon I should... which one do you reckon I should pick, Jack? Come on, which one? Oh, no, I missed out. Quick say number. 5. Please don't be the one. Please don't be 5. I didn't put any scrap in. Oh, no. All right. Round and round and round it goes. Where's it going to land? Don't be 5. I'll be very upset. Oh, no, it's going to be 5. No, it was 1. There you go. Right, so we'll be back later, and we'll do the abnormal barders, and we'll see what happens. So with that... Right, 5 seconds to go. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. However, the bots might be doing stupidly high amounts of barders as per usual. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands within a microsecond. Apparently not in the pants. Well, there's the garage door. Alright, guess we'll do that then. Alright, so... Huh, damn, okay. Huh, there you go, right. Huh, I must have picked wrong. Also, that has 6,000 pie orders. Okay, yeah, that's just normal. It's just normal. It's normal stuff. Normal. This has 7,200. This has 7,000. This is the current state of Rust at the moment. And with that, it doesn't look like this is disappearing anytime soon. So what we'll do is we'll skip ahead and we'll talk about the abnormal barter support afterwards. So... Right, gentlemen, we're back. So it's been over 20 minutes, and unfortunately, we are missing one skin. So if I were to go over to here, the Fallen Salvage Sword has still not yet appeared, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to hang about. I just want to kind of jump in and just start talking about all the skins, right? So let's start off with talking about the Abyss clothing. Guys, it's going all the way up to $2. There is a big, fat, strong 200 quantity $2 barter right here on both the Abyss pants and the hoodie. Now, there's one real quick thing I should mention. Very weirdly, this has 8,300 requests to buy. This has 4,800. This actually took a while to appear, which you saw just a minute ago. And when it did, well, it doesn't have a barter like this. See these two barders right here? 3,230, 3,525. Yeah, they're botted. I'm not sure if they're going to stick around forever. But this is what we're dealing with at the moment. I can't see how they can afford it. Please remember, you've got to be able to offer that. But also, with all of these very, very high, big, fat quantity buy orders, you only have so much buy order limit. And, well, that's where problems arise when you have to figure out how much you can actually offer and whatnot. And I just can't see how they can keep doing this. So they would have to remove some of them. I get the feeling these are only around for maybe a couple of weeks and they remove it. And then, with the next Rust buy orders that they do, the Rust abnormal skin buy orders, they just keep slowly cycling through. I don't fully know. I don't understand how it all works, but yeah, they have a very absurd amount of requests to buy, but botted buy orders. But anyway, looking at the build-up of the skin here, plenty of buy orders over $1, plenty of buy orders up to about $1.50, and of course you've got the extra stack of buy orders fairly close to $2. Guys, this is a perfectly fine skin to consider buying, alright? We know for sure right now, and most likely tomorrow as well, that this has a lot less sales in comparison to the kilt, and even more so compared to the tier 3 armor. So yeah, kilt bare minimum sales 16,730-ish. The hoodie right now is 13,500-ish, and the pants are 13,300-ish. Now, that is bare minimum sales. That's the amount of subscribers. I get the feeling these are going to be perfectly fine in the future, especially now that we have seen those buy orders in both of them. They don't look like they're going to be going any bit lower than $2. And, well, when loads of people return to play the game, they'll take a look at the Abyss collection, and, well, maybe it gets bought out, and if it's not going to go any lower than $2, it can only go up. But how far will it go? So, again, please consider watching that video on YouTube. Listen to all the details. Understand the comparison I make with the likes of Berserker collection, because even though that's not doing very well at the moment, it wasn't doing very well last year either, but it still went up in price very nicely. Could the exact same scenario, the exact same process, I guess you could say, happen with the likes of Abyss. So keep an eye out for that. But with this, if you really wanted to buy something right now, the hoodie and the pants look perfectly fine to do so. Alright, sounds good? Perfect. Right, so they're holding up, they've got the support. They don't look like they're going any lower than $2 anytime soon. Alright, then we have the Auto Garage door. And what do you see with this? Well, you've got the likes of another botted buy order. Again, $1.22. But when you look at the likes of this, plenty of buy orders above $1. You got a fairly decent amount up to $1.50-ish, and then it just kind of stops. This is a $3 skin. Weird. I don't know what happened here. Well, if you take this away, you've only got like 1,000 buy orders, and I don't think people are super confident with this, I guess you could say. This is a $3 skin, and it doesn't even have that many buy orders, close to around $2. So I'm a little bit concerned about this. However, everybody's listing theirs at $7 here. I don't think that's going to last forever, but maybe this will be going below its store price. So, yeah. It is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. So, I think this probably will be going below $2, probably. But again, keep an eye out. You never know. We might see more Altar deplorable skins being produced and whatnot, and maybe they also get accepted. All the better for the large box and that garage door. So, cool looking skin, but it's got no support, and I worry for it. Then we have the likes of the Chameleon LR300, and we must reiterate, lowest selling Chameleon skin so far, with 11,000 bare minimum sales. The buy order support for this $3 skin, again, botted buy order, but plenty of buy orders above $1. Then you got a very nice portion around $1.50 and above, up to $2, and it's going all the way up to about $2.20. So, yeah. It's not close to $3, but it's definitely in the position I expected, and I do expect this to go down to maybe about 25 to maybe possibly 30% down. That's expected. But I can imagine that this will be, at best, maybe retaining or going ever so slightly above its store price, purely based on the fact that it's going to very likely be carried by the whole collection, because there will be a desire to have all of the weapon skins. So, we'll leave it at that. If you want, for example, right now, you're going to probably ask, okay, but do I want to should I actually buy this right now? Honestly, you could just probably put down a $2 or $2.10 buy order. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if you pick some of these up. Wouldn't be surprised at all, right? So, it's a consideration, it's in your hands, but in terms of actually buying it, it's the gun itself, not the skin. But things should work out very nicely, and we'll see what happens. You never know. Maybe at some point down the line we'll get more weapon buffs, and maybe the LR300 is a whole lot better at some point in the future, and then suddenly everybody wants it. All right. Then, well, that. Unfortunately, this hasn't yet appeared, but we know it's like a 70-cent to 90-cent barter. There's not much we can do about this. I get the feeling that it just simply didn't sell that much, or people just don't realise that this is actually an abnormal. They could list it right now, whatever. It's 70-cent, 90-cent skin. It's not going to be like insane, is it? We've seen them all in the past. Right, so you're telling me, Gel King James, you're really desperate to see some interesting skins tomorrow with the Halloween batch? Yep. So, first Halloween store is tomorrow. I have absolutely no idea what's going to get picked, because there's no, like, refined list, which you already mentioned earlier. Anything that you see here, let's zoom in. And chat, here you go, I'll link it to you once more. Anything that you see here could be picked tomorrow. But what would you like to see? What's your favourite? Feel free to go to the Rust Workshop yourself. Figure out the ones you like. Figure out the ones that you potentially think actually have the best chances and potentially being accepted. Feel free to comment, tell me, which ones do you think is your favourite? Which ones do you think actually has the best chances in potentially being accepted? Will it be continuations from Halloween skins of the past? Or will it simply be just a very cool looking skin? Like maybe one of these cool looking rug skins. We have a lot of rug skins, by the way. Do you want a spider web or a pumpkin or a spider or a coffin or a ghost or a whatever that is, or another pumpkin, or an actual, like, pretend fireplace and whatnot? We've got a vending machine. We've got a lot of wooden doors. We got a lot of sheet metal doors, tons of them. Look at them all, look at them all, look at them all. They're all there. We've only got, like, one armoured door, which is really strange. We've got the double doors here, the sheet metal double doors, garage doors, plenty of those. As I've mentioned, I've gone through all this earlier, so go give this a good look. You could even comment on some of the pages and say, this is a very cool looking skin, good job, Keep those skin creators nice and motivated. But I have absolutely no idea what's going to get picked. Usually I'm fairly confident, but this is a holiday. But what I am confident in is if we do see those new items actually being something that you can buy by default, new items, as in new Halloween items, for example, they by default will be abnormal. So got to be nice and prepared for that, don't we? Yes, we do. So with that, some of the prices are starting to appear here. We'll reiterate it once more. Abyss hoodie pants look perfectly fine to go ahead and buy. And yeah, that's basically it. And I will just reiterate this once more as well. If you like the Charitable Rust skins, it's quite literally your last chance to go ahead and buy them. If you got a whole bunch of spare money, consider buying at least one, because it's all for a good cause. And, well, technically speaking, these are going to be some fairly rare skins, because once you bought it, it's always tied to your account, and you cannot trade it, you cannot sell it. And if you missed out on buying these, you're never going to be able to get them ever again. Nope. So, cool-looking skins, consider buying them, and, yeah, we shall see. Right, you don't like them? Well, it don't matter, because loads of people still bought them. 14,000 bare minimum sales. 9,000 bare minimum sales, 6,400 bare minimum sales, and 7,700 bare minimum sales. Also, yeah, I don't think anybody bought multiples of these, so the subscriber count quite literally would be the sales count. So, yeah, good stuff, everybody. Good job, everybody, if you did buy them. Very nice, very cool. I think I've said everything that I needed to say, so I will be streaming tomorrow, of course. I think it might be an early Rust store tomorrow. I think. No guarantees, but just kind of keep your eyes open. So I'm basically saying maybe around like 7 o'clock UK time tomorrow, so 7 o'clock in the evening UK as in United Kingdom. I think it's going to happen around then. But we should also be aware that the actual Halloween in-game update is not going to happen until October 23rd. So yes, tomorrow will be, well, for me right now it's 19th, but on Monday next week, that is when the actual Halloween stuff is introduced. But we're getting Halloween skins tomorrow. So, I've said it enough. All good. So, yep, catch you all later. See you and goodbye. And best of luck with your investments. Best of luck with your barders. And regular skins tomorrow. Don't forget, when the new Rust store appears, regular skins will become marketable. And we can do barders in them as well. Au revoir.